Hello everyone, I'm Enrique and I'm recording this video to help you set up your week. As you all know, the first thing that you gotta do is read the course planner. The course planner appears in your content section, is the introductory document. In this course planner, I'm giving you all the information of what you have to do during the week. In the second week, we continue with Andrew Lansford's material from Everyone's an Author, and now you're reading all the information pertaining the writing process. This is on pages 75 through 103. Additionally, you got to continue studying the sentence patterns and emphasizing ideas and opening and closing sentences in the language corner. You know that you study the material in the language corner, and then you've got to do the exercises and the self-assessment. You go to the self-assessment link, and you have all the exercises for the week. In this case, you have to do 3 exercises. One about the writing process. And the writing process is very important because it's organizing your work with a view to writing the essay, beginning with annotating text, using some pre-writing techniques, and then organizing your ideas in with some sort of organization tools like outlines or clusters or diagrams or map of ideas, and this would help you write your essays eventually. You also have another exercise on word phrases and redundancies, which is about sentence patterns and using the right words. This is about word choice. Uh, this is you're supposed to do the self-assessment before the end of the week, before Sunday. As usual, I would recommend having all these exercises done before Saturday. You don't want to leave everything until the end. Remember, the enemy of our class is procrastination. Um, Once you understand what you have to do after reading the learning the planner, you gotta come over here and read the learning object, which is my instructions on how to approach the material that you're reading in the book. You have an introduction by a professor from the university, Mark Putman, and then you have all my ideas about the writing process. This is my interpretation of the contents of Andrew Lanford and my own illustrations. It's important you read the learning object, and I have to notice that some students haven't read the learning object of the first week because I just downloaded the report and saw that some of you didn't read the learning object, and this is a very serious mistake. I'm going to be sending an email today notifying the ones that didn't read the learning object or the planner of the first week. I have no idea how you could possibly do the exercise for the week without having read this material first. So in this learning object, going back to the learning object, you have all my information about the chapters that you're reading, and also you have something important here, which is the pre-writing techniques to generate ideas and pre-writing techniques to organize your ideas. This is an example of a pre-writing technique. This is a cluster beginning from a core idea and then branching out into different directions, and this would help you tremendously when writing your essays. You also have the first elements about the art of composition of a text, beginning with the introduction. This video is very important because it would give you a first encounter with something that we're going to call in our class the funnel approach, which is beginning from a broad statement, which is the hook of your essay, writing a transition sentence, and then getting to the thesis statement. This videos is a must watch because you have here all the information that you're going to need for the first partial test that will be on Friday. You also have a a fragment, an excerpt from John Langan's book, College Writing Skills with Readings. And this is very interesting because John Langan introduces the different patterns of introductions, and you're going to be using this in the second partial test in week 5. After that, you get to one section which is not in your book, and that's why you have to read the section here, and it's about the thesis statement. It's on page 6 of the learning object, how to write good thesis statements. Here you have the definition of the thesis. We're going to have a working definition for my class, examples of thesis statements, the pattern of the thesis statement, the differences between thesis statements depending on the pattern that you're using, whether if it's an expository essay or an analytical essay, an argumentative essay, depending on the genre, basically, and the contents of the thesis statement. So you gotta do this, you gotta study this carefully before Friday, and you gotta do the exercises on the thesis statement over here in the quizzes section. You have one exercise. The first one is parallelism in the sentence, that will help you somehow to write a good thesis. And the first quiz will close on the 10th, which is Sunday. But the third quiz, thesis statement, it will be closing on the 8th, which is Friday before the test. You have the partial test on the 9th, and as I announced, the partial test only has one possible chance, because it's a test. This is about thesis statement. If you study the material from the learning object, you're going to be in great shape for the first partial test. So this is all you've got to do in the second week. I hope you're finding the contents and the organization of the class clear. Remember, in case that you need an extra help, or don't hesitate to send me an email, and I'll be answering your question. Thank you.